Kia ora, bros and girls. Welcome back to the final chapter of Uncollected. So I actually recorded this a while ago and it took way too long on the boss because I hadn't figured them out. And so I didn't want you to just watch, like 20 minutes of me trying to figure out how to deal with this gold pool. So instead, I've taken quite a recent one, a little bit later on in the piece. It's not a very easy lane, but it's not a very hard lane as well. Um, and I've got a little bit more solutions. So this one should be a little bit, hopefully smoother. So what we'll do is the easiest path is actually that one straight down the line because you don't have too many nodes in terms of special abilities. This one has the nodes on this one are basically no attack damage and 400% on your specials. So I'm going to take Ghost Rider into this one. But the easiest line is to go, if you're just looking for completion, is to go straight down the guts from the center, and then probably you want to end up on the left side so you avoid the Kingpin further up. He can be a little bit of a pain in the ass. But this path is going to take us through the Kingpin. So it's probably going to be the hardest fight, I imagine. And then, MODOK will also be a little bit of a pain. But the rest should be okay. Now, if I keep this up, then we should be able to finish this guy pretty good. I'm healing up here. I'm nice and close to full life. Oh my god. Okay, but I miss. He evades one run and I'm done for. So what I'll do is I might as well take Blade in. He should be able to at least regen some of that stuff. And he's probably got the most damaging special out of the whole team I have there, apart from maybe Ultron's SP1. But there's a high chance of me missing the SP1, so I think having Blade's SP2 is probably a bit easier. A lot more hits, a lot more chance to connect. There we go, and that does it. On to the next one. Onwards and upwards. Blade, by the way, is a massive game changer. I know I use him quite a bit recently since I've got him, but I do see why. I mean, he is so useful, so versatile. I'll use him for Loki as well. I think Danger Sense extends. Oh, he's a villain anyway, so I think I should get Danger Sense here, and that means my SP2 should do a tremendous amount of damage. I think basically, so long as I can last and SP2 him, hit him with the SP2 maybe twice in the fight, that's generally game over on this line. It has a mirror line, by the way, on the left, which is kind of why I know this a little bit. So yeah, I mean, he's almost going to bleed to death here, but one more SP2 and he's over and done for. And here it comes. Tremendous damage. Thank you, Blade. So Loki's pretty easy. Symbiote, maybe just he evades a little bit, so you have to be a little bit careful not to get hit. If you do get clipped, it's game over. And that's pretty much it. There's only 2 people on this road actually, and then you end up going to the second phase of the map, and we are up against Yellow Jacket. Luckily, he is a villain, so again, Blade should do the business against him. I'm a little bit hit and miss with Yellow Jacket, because sometimes I'm really good at evading both his specials, and sometimes I get the timing just slightly off, and I get my ass handed to me, but let's see. So the node here looks like it's a little bit different. I can actually do damage and bleed him out. I think, from memory, I think this is the Bane node, where it's not the Bane that switches, but you've got a timer where you have to kind of land a hit. Because if you notice in the top there, on the top left there, that gray button. And as soon as I stop hitting him, the timer starts, and as soon as I hit him, the timer restarts. So I think that's the... See, this is what I mean. I thought I evaded that perfectly, but evidently not. And now I'm degenerating, and come on. Oh, we're just barely holding on. Can we do it? Gotta be... damn it. I had to go in. I was degenerating, so... That's a little bit annoying. Let's use Ultron, and hopefully we can get a decent run in here. Okay. So I have to... this Bane's a little bit weird. You have to play a little bit with the timing, you know, and you try to just make sure that you're not degenerating. I have to go in. Now. Come on. There we go. The Bane is off. That gives me another few seconds. And I like pushing him to his SP2 because I find it a little bit easier to dodge than his SP1. Kind of depends a little bit on the day too, I think, but... There we go, we'll just hit him once. At least restart the Bane. I don't particularly want to push him to his SP3 if I don't have to, but I'm going to have to hit. There you go. Maybe I can stun. Nope, I can't stun lock. Damn it. Here comes the SP3. But if we're a bit lucky, it might not kill us. Here we are on full life, but he's pretty high PI. That is painful though. Okay, let's see if we can heal up and finish it off. I really want to hit the SP2 here, but no, I shouldn't. Damn it. Got hit again and we're degenerating. I think I'm going to have to just, throw the SP. Just going to have to throw the SP3. I'm going to die anyway, but I might as well do as much damage as I can before I go. I was actually kind of hoping that this would finish him off, but I don't think it's going to do it. And so the power sting will probably kill me. But, you know, one more fight and we go through. I would have done probably a better job with Blade. Maybe if I had known that it's a different buff, I just assumed that it was going to be the 400% specials and 0% basic attack node. But we took stock in there, got the job done, and now we're up against Kingpin, and I don't like Kingpin, especially when he's duped and he's got his signature level, because he shrugs off debuffs really quick. He does the stupid overpower. He goes unblockable. He's really annoying. I remember last time in one of the trials, I struggled with him a little bit, and I didn't really know how he worked. I still don't fully know how he works, to be honest. Like I haven't actually read his bio, but I've noticed that he kind of, there you go, the Regen overpower. He kind of like he shakes off debuffs and gains this rage, and after a certain amount of timers, he effectively just gets this overpower and unblockable, and then he's just really annoying to deal with after that. But he is a villain, and I do have the right synergy, so I will use Blade. I'll bring him back, and maybe Danger Sense can get the job done. I mean, I'll look at those criticals. I really like those. And so long as we could just keep cycling through that SP1, we should be okay. Maybe hit him with a couple of SP2s. His SP1 is much easier to deal with than his SP2. And sometimes his SP2 becomes unblockable as well, so you have to really dex it. I guess when he goes on overpower. So it's a little bit of a tough fight because you're balancing his rage. You don't want him to get to overpower, which he just did. you wanted him to cycle through just his SP1, not his SP2, and you've got Bane on top of all of that. And just trying not to die. There we go. One hit. Try to Regen a little bit. Damn it. I think I'm done here. Okay, but we got a fair way through him. I don't know who would be good against him, to be honest. I think Iceman would be quite cool. It's not like Cold Snap's not really a debuff, so it might not trigger his rage, maybe. I don't know how rage fully works. If you guys know who's a good Kingpin counter, leave a comment below. Tell me who you use against Kingpin, because generally I just have to kind of like force my way through him, really. Just we've spent a couple of revives here, but that's, I guess, nothing compared to Thanos in the last one. And also, I mean, it is the final map of Uncollected, so you generally should expect that you're going to spend a few revives, a handful of revives, a handful of pots maybe. So doing that with a couple of revives is not too bad. You can normally pick them up pretty easily from the event quests and stuff, the milestones and your level up events and all that. So this same kind of strategy of just trying to cycle, getting the Bane off, resetting the timer, and just trying to cycle him through his SP1 seems to be doing the job. So that's the way through Kingpin. And then next up we have Carnage. And so if you go straight down the middle, you end up on the other end and you come straight down to Carnage. You actually totally miss out on Kingpin. And I think you miss out on the left side as well. I'm not sure if there was anyone super tricky on that side. But Kingpin's definitely a bit tricky. But Carnage, I think, is a pretty easy champ, and I've mentioned it a million times. He should be so much stronger than he is. But I don't mind coming up against him, even if he has 20,000 PI, because to be fair, he doesn't do a lot of damage, and his SPs are pretty easy to read. Also, I have a 5-star Carnage, and I use him in Arena all the time, so I'm used to the spacing, I'm used to his SPs, how they look, where he ends up, and for me, it's very easy to evade both his heavy and the specials. When he first came out, it was a little bit tricky because it was kind of new, but I mean, look at that. I'm basically on as full life as you can get with Blade. And one more SP2. He should be done here. Nice and easy. Didn't really struggle with him. You could do it with anyone. You could do it with, Symbiote Spider-Man. You could do it with Thor, Angela, whoever you want. Now the next up is MODOK, and on some lines I brought an Archangel specifically to deal with MODOK. This time I don't have him, and crap, I was supposed to use Blade, not Star-Lord. What a waste. I'm going to get my ass handed to me and not have him for Goldpool, or have to revive him for Goldpool. Sorry guys, talking too much and just lost my train of thought. I should have brought Blade in for this. I didn't want to bring Star-Lord, actually. I was saving Star-Lord. The only reason I brought Star-Lord is to deal with the boss, to deal with Goldpool, not to deal with MODOK. And now I just wasted him. But anyway, we'll go with Blade. Back to my point. My point was, I normally always bring Archangel to deal with MODOK in this map, especially on some lines where I can do that. I could not on this line. I needed the synergy to deal with Kingpin and the villains, and I need Star-Lord to deal with Goldpool. And Ultron, unfortunately, I lost him a little bit early, but generally he helps me grind through some of the tougher nodes, and I always like having him for backup because he's actually pretty good against Goldpool too, if I need to. So I didn't have room for Archangel on this specific team. But normally he's really good against MODOK. Mine is, he's a 4-star duped. He's only rank 4, but he's like signature 80 something or 90, and he can do a ton of DPS so long as I don't get hit and I'm able to just parry and neurotoxin. But you see here, Blade with his danger sense, he can deal to MODOK as well with the synergy. Without the synergy, he's not as good. But with the synergy, if you play him right, you can take care of business. So that was nice. We didn't waste any revives on MODOK. You can see Goldpool here. You have to go over 15, so that's a little bit annoying. He is immune to bleeds. He can't bring in Archangel. He's got crazy regen, so maybe Guillotine would be good to reverse that. And he actually is unblockable special 1 in SP2. He can regen below 35. He regens again below 15, so he's got a double regen. That's very strong on top of 100% heal and regen buff. He can taunt as well. He can bleed you. He has a chance to stun. But having faced him before, I guess the takeaway is he is an absolute regen monster, but he doesn't do a lot of damage. The main thing is you just don't want to get hit. Okay? You just need to not get hit against him. We'll try our luck with Blade. He does have this ability where he's like, bleed damage is reduced against skill. Obviously on purpose, because he's like a special mutant. But we'll see how much we can go through with Blade. And if we can't, we're taking Star-Lord. Now, the cool thing is, if you've been following me recently, you've noticed that, or you would have known that I popped Star-Lord quite recently, and then I managed to pop the Awakening Gem. I popped the Awakening Gem to awaken Star-Lord, and I've so far managed to get him to R3 and pump maybe about 40 signature levels into him between the generics and the techs, and he is phenomenal, man. I mean, he is up there. You know, people say, okay, actually, Stark does more damage, Blade does more damage. To me, end game, like super long fights, more than 100 hits, end of Uncollected, probably when I do Labyrinth and stuff, he is equal. He's second to none. So long as you can keep that combo going, his damage is phenomenal. Just so phenomenal. Yeah, I don't know what more to say. I didn't really understand how powerful he was until I got him. I heard the people going like, yeah, he ranks up his damage and he ranks up with combos, but I never actually saw it in action. And since using him, I've one-shotted Goldpool with him a few times. Sometimes I make mistakes and I slip up and I get nicked, but he has the ability to just go straight through Goldpool as if he's not even an uncollected boss, as if he's like, an arena boss. I mean, you still be doing 70, 80 hit combos. Don't get me wrong. You're still going to be doing combos, but his damage scales pretty quickly. And hopefully, with a bit of luck, I can show you in this fight. So I kind of want to get that poison off me. Thank you. I'll take the weakness. Now with Goldpool, damn, I got clipped there. That's not good. Now I need to restart my entire bonus, my combo. And of course, until you get to hit number 15, you don't even do damage to him. So you got to be pretty good at evading and pretty good with your parries. Armor break's okay because it kind of heals me up. And really the trick here is, apart from obviously evading and just trying to do as much damage, if you don't have a Star-Lord, the trick is eventually getting him to power lock. Now he's in power lock, I'm in the perfect position. So here, but he gets out of power lock. Oh, no, he's in power lock again. Fantastic. So now that he's in power lock, wow, that was easy. See what I mean? Like, he just went through him as if he was butter, as if he wasn't even the boss, didn't really care about the double regen, didn't even notice it. But if you don't have a Star-Lord, basically get him to power lock, just keep evading until you get him to power lock. Once he's in power lock, just keep him there. Just keep parrying and keep hitting, and keep parrying and keep hitting, and keep parrying and keep hitting, and don't let him get into the special. Eventually, you'll sort through him. Thanks, guys.